What have there been changes-wise for you from when you started to now? You know, your experience.
I think that, I think there has been like significant changes as far as just the consciousness of us within, and also what's going on outside. I feel like people are a lot, you know, people's voices have been heard as far as like people's just wanting to be more fairly represented and to be, you know, to have their voices heard. And other people, you know, there's been a kind of a hunger for that, more lately than ever, I feel like. And I feel like when I first started, there wasn't necessarily a hunger for that, you know, at least from the, you know, in terms of like networks and studios.
Right.
Like, within the community, there's always been a hunger for that. There's, you know, as you know, there's always been a desire to get out there and to get our voices heard and to tell our stories. But it was, you know, at least for me in the beginning, it was always kind of from within. We were telling our stories to each other, you know.
Yeah.
We do theater. We'd have, you know, we'd do little runs of shows, rent out theaters, and most of the people coming to the shows were like other Asian Americans. It was like it was like our own Chitlin circuit, you know, like,
Right.
You know, when I was doing stand-up there, you know, like all the clubs would have their Asian night, you know.
One day.
I think it was, one of them was called the Chopstick Night. Yeah, that was at the Improv, and there's one at the Laugh Factory, I forgot what it was called. But, you know, we had those shows, and most of the people in the audience would be Asian, you know, and then when, you know, Mo Betta Mondays would be the black night, you know. And then all the rest would be the regular night, you know, where just like, it would be, you know, predominantly white comedians, and then you'd have your, you know, one or two, you know, different voices, but I feel like it's starting to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you spoke about the shift in consciousness within the community. And it sounds like you're speaking about maybe this boldness that may have been like inspired by the internet or helped facilitated by the internet. Yeah. Can you talk about that as an actor? You know, you go into the audition rooms, you go into these casting rooms, and how has that shift internally been within the community as far as like confidence or as far as it's going out there? How has that changed?
Well, I mean, it's tougher for me to kind of see it from within because I'm from like that older era, you know. But I feel like the kids now, like you kids, you know, with the internet and these things that I don't, you know, I mean, I get and I use, but it's like there's so many stories being told, and I think it's really inspiring, and it's really, and even from my perspective, it gives me confidence, you know. It gives me confidence to see people telling their stories and to have like these YouTube stars who are like doing big things, and to see that their fans are not just people who look like them, but it's like they're actually like, a lot of people are interested in hearing these stories and listening to these voices, and I think that it's better for the artists in general, and myself included. It gives me confidence, you know, going into the room, and it becomes less like, I don't know, I've noticed like lately, especially more than ever, like there's less kind of like that Asian person has to be Asian, you know, like the roles are less like Asian, you know, it could be anybody, or we just want this, you know, we want a person who's, you know, there's less kind of racial expectations and more just like character expectations, but they want to diversify. They want, and I feel like the internet has played a huge part in that.